Welcome to an ordinary day in my life. Watch this vlog until the end if you don't believe a healthy lifestyle can be easy. By sharing my unpretentious healthy lifestyle, I'm not gonna convince you, but inspire you to live your best life. Good morning and welcome to the vlog. Welcome to another day. Welcome to my day in my life. Welcome to my Friday. We made it. We made it to the weekend. And what can I say? I wouldn't say it's overcast, but it's not sunny, but it's hot. It's weird. I think it's gonna rain. Oh my God, I started the vlog already complaining. The reality is, the thing is, if I'm honest, I feel a little sluggish today. And right before I started recording, I was talking to my husband this morning and I was telling him, I'm not feeling it today. I feel this lack of energy. And he said that he's feeling the same today. And then we realized that this week was it was a little different. It was out of our routine because he had to go to the office every day. They had people coming from other offices coming, so everybody had to have lunch together. Sometimes they stayed late there. And then we realized that because we didn't have lunch together and a few dinners as well, both of us, we didn't eat normally, I would say. It's not that we ate like crazy, but it was a little different because when you have a routine, if something falls off the routine, it can compromise all the rest. And we felt like this. For him, of course, it was even harder because he had to have lunch with other people, so he couldn't actually choose where to eat, what to eat. Normally when he goes to the office, he brings his own food that I made. And because he was not here, I didn't properly eat, I would say, because when you are by yourself and you have to cook for yourself, it's a little different. It's not that it was a horrible diet, but it was different. It was not optimal as usual. And we realized that that's why we are feeling that, and that's a good example. So I thought it would be nice to start the vlog telling you that, because I try to tell that to clients all the time. Like, sometimes when you feel out of energy, when something is off, it's not because something big or something huge. It's not a chronic problem you have most of the times. Of course, there are a lot of scenarios here, but sometimes, and I would say most of the times, it's something that you can fix in your routine, especially in your diet. I see that all the time. So maybe I will take this opportunity to use this vlog today to tell you a little more about the relation between energy and food and water and sleep and work and exercises. I think I'm gonna make a coffee for me. I'm gonna start working here on the balcony to see if it doesn't rain. I hope not. And see what the day brings for me.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cup my tea. I can take what I need to get by. It doesn't make it easy.
Well, it's about to rain. But before I continue with my work, let me continue with the topic of today's vlog, because we are talking about energy or the lack of, and I think we have to start. Actually, any problem solving has to start from the cause. We have to understand why we have the issue so we can tackle it. The thing is, when we have an issue that brings a lot of impact to our lives, we tend to believe that the cause the source of the issue is huge as much as the impact. And sometimes that's not the case. And because of that way of thinking, we tend to look for answers to complicated answers, I would say. We start to think, oh, maybe there is something wrong with my metabolism, or maybe it's a chronic disease. And most of the times, it's something simple. It's something rooted in our daily routine, and it's something that is easy to change. It would be so much more interesting or fun to say, yeah, maybe it's a metabolic issue, or maybe it's this problem, this rare problem that you have, and sometimes it's not. So stay with me. Most of the times it's something simple, but because it's something simple, it can be overseen, I would say, or we don't pay attention. When we talk about health, we have to talk about overall health, an holistic approach to health. So we are talking about mind, we are talking about our bodies, of course. Of course, inside our bodies, there are a lot of things going on. This topic can get really complicated to explain you how a variety of things can interfere in your energy level. So I'm gonna oversimplify, but it's gonna work. Stay with me. I like to say that to live is to manage resources, and your body is all the time managing its own resources, and sometimes those resources are limited, and when resources are limited, we have to manage them, right? It's how our body does. And I think that helps to make it clear when I say to you, oh, maybe it's a hydration problem. And you think, no, how can the hydration be the problem? How can a lack of water could be the problem? Do you remember the last time you were ill? If you had a cold or a mild flu, you feel like, you feel so tired, you feel so out of energy because your body is fighting an infection or is fighting an ill, and it has to use all of its resources for that. That's why you don't have energy for other things. So in another level, of course, in a lower level, it's the same, because your body has to deal with that issue. It's gonna get energy from other areas, and that could be the energy that is missing to you on a daily basis. So most of the times the issue is something in your routine, something that you are not giving to your body. It could be lack of sleep, it could be lack of water, dehydration. You would be surprised by how hydration is one of the main causes of tiredness. It could be, like in my case, nutrition. I'm gonna explain more about that during the day, but yeah, nutrition plays a big part on it. And even our physical activity levels could play a part on it. And it's not what you are thinking, because working out sometimes gives you energy. Maybe it's a lack of workout. But now I'm gonna start to prepare our lunch. And if you are a regular here, you are asking why you don't prepare lunch. You always have the food ready from the night before, right? But as I told you, this week we couldn't control. Usually I have everything planned for the week, but because we had these, there were days that my husband was planning not to come for dinner, and then last minute he called me, yeah, I'm going home. So I was preparing for the next day, and we had to eat the entire meal, so I would have to prepare again the next day, and then the other day that I was preparing for both, but I ate by myself, so it was a mess. And if you know me, you know that I like routine. I like to have everything planned. But today is a normal day. He's working from home, but I don't have the food ready, so I'm gonna make something quick. So I'm gonna cook pasta, whole wheat pasta, and I think I have mackerel. Yeah, you already know this trick, right? I always do this trick. I prepare a whole wheat pasta. I add mackerel to the tomato sauce so I have protein, a easy, quick source of protein. I'm gonna add some spinach for more fiber, vitamin K, and yeah, you see. Let's continue with the day.
So casually keep diving into concrete, so bittersweet, huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder. You know, sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts.
We just had lunch and I'm gonna bake my bread. If you're new here, I bake my own bread at home, and I've been in this, how can I say, I've been on this journey to try to make more of our food at home. Of course, I don't eat a lot of processed food, but we are trying to eliminate even more if we can. So we don't buy bread anymore. We buy sometimes, of course, when we out of bread. I cannot, unfortunately, sometimes I cannot bake. I don't have time. Last week I made yogurt for the first time, so I think that is solved as well. I've been trying to substitute more and more, and yeah, I'm gonna bake the bread. It's not new here. If you're regular, you saw me baking plenty of times, and you know I always use the same recipe. You can find my recipe on my blog, lucianawellness.com/bread. You can find the recipe there. I use the machine. Sometimes I make it by hand. If you don't have a machine, don't worry. You can use your own hand to bake the bread, and this recipe always works. So while I prepare the bread, actually I'm not gonna prepare it. I'm only gonna, how can I say, gather the ingredients, and the machine is gonna do all the work, all of its magic. So, but while I'm gathering the ingredients, let's just continue talking to you about what we started, about the energy levels. And I told you that I think our problem this week was the diet. We didn't eat properly, and maybe you are asking, okay, but how does it work? Why do I think it was the diet? What exactly went wrong? Actually, nothing went wrong. It's not that our diet was poor, but it's not as optimal as it usually is. So let me explain. But if you're out of energy and you want to figure it out, what is happening, I would start by your diet. First, you have to be sure that you are eating enough calories, because sometimes people want to lose weight and the first and the only thing they do is to cut their calories, and unfortunately it doesn't work like that, because you have to think about the quality of the calories. Not all calories are created equal. We always say that in nutrition. So having a basic understanding of macronutrients, is gonna help you. The first thing you have to know is that we have 3 macronutrients. All of them are important. I always say that. We have fats, we have carbohydrates or carbs, and we have protein. Summarizing, carbs are the first energy source of your body. It's the first macro that your body is gonna break to produce energy. But there are carbs and carbs. When we talk about simple carbs or sugars, we are talking about quick energy, high energy, but we are talking about sugar spikes on your blood, insulin spikes. So it's not a good idea, because as quick it comes, as quick it goes. So it's an energy that your body is gonna break down pretty easy and pretty quick, so you are going to be out of energy right away. And that's why sometimes right after a meal you feel sluggish or you feel kind of lazy, sometimes even depressed. That's an indicator that you ate too much of simple carbs. So if you feel that way, next time try to exchange. Instead of simple carbs, try to incorporate complex carbs or whole wheat grains. Let's say change your white rice for brown rice. Try to eat more fibers. Fibers help a lot with that as well because it slows the process. So that is that. Maybe it's not a problem that you are not eating enough calories, but you are eating too much sugar. And I know it sounds counterintuitive that you are eating more energy and you feel this lack of energy, but yeah, that's what happens. Your body metabolizes so fast that you right away feel out of energy and your body wants more and more and more, and that's why you cannot stop eating. Try to eat more protein because protein is a good source of energy as well. It's not the primary source, but your body can use protein as energy, and your body needs more time to break down the protein, so you are going to feel fuller for a long time. You are going to feel more energized, and it actually is gonna help you with a lot of other things like muscle mass, like building muscle mass. It would be good for your bones, for your brain health, for your overall health. So if you are feeling out of energy, especially if it's a common thing to feel that way, try to eat more protein. Try to bring more protein to your diet and see if you feel better after that. And that's what happened to us last week. It's not that we ate bad food. I don't like to use the terms bad or good food, but it's not that our diet was bad, but I think we didn't eat enough protein, or at least we didn't eat the same amount of protein that we used to eat. So yeah, what more do I need? Sugar, salt, oh.
Even when I'm down in the lower, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark, maybe just a better kind of bitter. Lose gravity, I'm swimming in the quicksand. Up to my knees. Keep losing sleep, I'm at extreme at midnight. So hard to please. Drowning in fears is like an ocean.
Our bread is almost ready. We have 6 minutes left, so I'm gonna start preparing the dip. And if you are regular here, you already know my recipe for dips. I always use cottage cheese, and it's the healthiest alternative for a dip. Actually, there's no recipe here. You just mix it with something, with anything you find in your fridge. Actually, I don't know what I'm gonna use today. I have cucumber. Cucumber is a good one. If I had jalapenos, but I don't have them. Let me see. Yeah, I have cucumber, I have lemon, and I think I'm gonna use a few herbs from my garden, from my balcony garden. You can use onions, you can use garlic, you can use, oh, better. I think I have tuna. Yes, I have tuna. So with tuna, we add more protein to the dip. I always give here this tip. Actually, it's the second time today that I'm using this tip. I always have cans of tuna, mackerel, sardines at home, because if I need a quick source of protein, I have them. Of course, the fresh version is always the best, but you can have them in hand if you need for a quick boost of protein to your dish. Sometimes I add tuna to the guacamole, and it probably offends Mexicans. Yeah, let's not call it a guacamole anymore. Sometimes I mix it with avocados. Actually, I think I have avocado. I don't think this avocado is good anymore, but let's try it. So I'm gonna mix cottage cheese with tuna. So we have the protein. We have the protein from cottage cheese with protein from tuna. You can use sardines, you can use salmon, you can use a lot of things. If you don't have cottage cheese, you can use yogurt, you can use Greek yogurt, you can use avocado. Of course, avocado is high in calories because of the fat, but it's a good fat. I always say that it's a good fat. Don't be afraid of avocados. Actually, I forgot to tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make dips so I can spread on my bread. We were planning to eat on the balcony, but it happens every week, I think. Every week we plan to eat on the balcony and it starts raining right at the time we planned to be on the balcony. So let's see what happens.
I'm thinking you were made for me. Isn't it my birthday yet? Cause I gotta say, you're looking like a gift for me. Wrapped up nice and neat, baby. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy. Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things I love, love, love. You could be the one I trust. All the second chances, they are nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of
If you enjoyed this vlog, you are going to love what's next.
catch my vibe, and right away got so much time looping in the blurry lights.